Hi, it's Gwen Reyes with Dallas International Film Festival. I'm sitting here with Dragon Age, Dawn of Seeker filmmakers Chris Magias and April Bennett. Thank you guys so much for chatting with us this morning.
Sure, thanks for having us.
So I know it's a little early, so we're just kind of like going to ease into this and just see how we go. Can you tell us a little bit about Dragon Age? I know it's based off of the video game, but kind of how did you guys get involved with the project?
Well, we had been talking with EA for some time about doing some animated adaptations of their video games, and it so happened that Dragon Age and Mass Effect were the right candidates for telling animated movies based off of. So we really jumped on the chance to do those because there was a lot of it was a perfect place to tell a story because there's just so much development behind their world that you could really tell all sorts of stories.
The big thing that we are doing with Dragon Age Dawn of the Seekers, we're actually telling a behind-the-scenes story with Cassandra, which is a new character that they introduced in Dragon Age 2. So she's a character that is in a lot of the cutscenes. You don't actually get to play her, but all of a sudden she just appears, and she's a seeker. And so in the video game, she's in her 30s. In our movie, she's in her 20s. And so you're seeing how she became the person that she is today.
I think it's so great that the whole film is focusing on the strong woman character, and especially now that you bring up the fact that it's not a character that you really get to play, but you explore. What was it about Cassandra that you were like, I need to tell this story?
Well, I'd say that she was such a when we first saw the concept art for this character, and it was way before the second game had come out. EA was giving us a kind of a rundown of what her story was and what she was going through and where her character ended up in the second game, and we realized that this is excellent. I mean, this is a great place to tell a dramatic story and tell her backstory, which we got to come up with, which was one of the exciting parts about this project.
One of the things about EA is that was something that they enjoy doing is showing strong female leads. And so that was someone that they just automatically were drawn to and were like, yes, let's do this. Let's do a story about her. And it was a lot of fun because a lot of the things that we came up with have helped design her for future things.
Which I think is so great. Like as I was looking at the film and I was so excited because you don't really get to see amazing, strong characters. And I think that's what is so great about video games is that they have these realms and these areas for character development through the women, and then having the chance to kind of see her story via film is wonderful. For you guys, when you were working on the project, what were some of the challenges that you guys were having, kind of taking that and bringing it to life?
We had quite a bit of challenges.
There was a lot.
Well, one of the biggest problems was that this project was there's a lot of people involved. Not only our company, but EA and also the Japanese creators. So getting everyone in the same page and is always one of the biggest challenges. But there's also the difference in storytelling between the Japanese and the Western style, which I think was really our biggest challenge in this whole thing. Our preference is to stick to the way that the characters talk in the game, which is a lot more wordy, a lot more dialogue, where the Japanese like to tell a lot more visual story. So we had to kind of find a way to strike a balance between the two, so that we could do a visual story yet have enough dialogue that everyone was happy.
Ultimately, we're not only just doing an animation, but we're doing a Japan animation, so an anime. So it is a different form of storytelling. So trying to have the Japanese understand a Western sensibility and us understand what they think would make for good visuals. It was challenging, but it was fun all at the same time to understand, because this isn't just a movie that's going to be here in the States. This is a movie that's going worldwide, and this is a movie that was in the theaters in Japan. So it's kind of exciting that we are telling a story to people worldwide, not just to a state. And it's also good for EA too, because their games aren't as big in Japan, and this was their way of getting their foot more into the door for them to sell the Dragon Age game out there more.
Well, and that's so it's really fascinating that you say that, and the fact that it's got to be able to translate to more than just the Japanese market. It's got to translate more to just the American market, and kind of finding that balance makes it more universal in a way. And then it's something that as Americans we're so excited about video gaming, and then knowing that there's not that really this game doesn't have that big of a market, and it's kind of like an introduction.
Exactly.
And that's the thing too, is to make sure that it appeals beyond just the core video game market. Was to tell a story that anyone, even if you don't know the Dragon Age story, you can jump right
You
in
can
and
understand it.
and enjoy it. And you know, I think that we were through a lot of hard work. I think we managed to get it that
Yeah.
way. Because another thing too is that we want to make sure that we pay total respect to the fans
Yeah.
and to the world itself. Because when they watch this thing, we want them to say, "Wow, okay, they got pretty accurate."
And we worked very closely with the creative director and the executive producer of the Dragon Age team. So this is a legit project that works very closely with the Dragon Age team. And so it's exciting. It's exciting to help the gamers get excited about another movie and then also introduce this world to people who would
To
never.
people who don't play.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that would be someone, you know, there are some people that be interested in watching the film, and they're like, oh, there's this whole other world that this film brings. We can see Cassandra's story, and even though we don't get to play her, it's this really great thing that we get to see this character that we're so invested in kind of evolve and grow. What sort of things? So the film is going to be playing here at the festival, and then it's already been released in Japan. Is that correct?
It is, yeah, it has, and it's going to go on a multi-city one-day release.
Yeah.
I think we're going to hit New York, San Francisco, LA, and we're going to do in Edmonton, Canada, where BioWare's based.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's going
And
to be...
then it'll be just direct to DVD after that at the end of May.
Which makes so much sense too. People can just like take it home and watch it on their own time. I think it's great because animated films really translate both on both markets. Like,
Yes.
they do really well on big screen, but then they can take them home and kind of invest their time in that.
Well, what we really, going back to what we were discussing earlier, what was really important to us is that the major, you know, the Dragon Age fans would want to have this as to complete their collection of the Dragon Age world. That was really important to us, and you know, we didn't want it to be. We just wanted to really be sincere. I think a sincere take on that, and not feel like that we were just making we were going to go do our own thing and create a movie based on it. So.
Yeah.
And so, if people are interested in the film, what should their next step be? Where can they find more information?
Well,
about
they
it?
actually can. We are selling the film on Amazon. There are pre-sales for Amazon right now. And then we also have DragonAgeMovie.com. If they're interested in just finding out more information. We have a lot of behind-the-scenes things in there. We have like character designs, and you can kind of see the progress of the film on the website, which is a lot of fun, a lot of neat things. And then we have some things in there that just giving you little snippets of what will be on the DVD extras to show you like little interviews with the Dragon Age team and stuff like that. So it's really cool. The website is really awesome to check out, just because you get to see a little bit of the behind the scenes and how we came from this design for our bad guy Frennick to now we're at this design for our bad guy Frennick. So it's
I just think that's so rad. I think that's the greatest thing about having the websites and doing all that, because it's like you get to go home, you enjoy it, and then you can even invest more time in it, which is wonderful.
Well, what's great in animation is that there's so much pre-production work you have to do. It's very opposite than live action, that you plan your entire film before it even goes to shoot. You know, there's nothing left on the floor, right? You got to do it all at the beginning.
Yeah.
So there's all this great concept art, and we're really trying to load our extras on this as well. April did a really great BioWare tour that'll be also on the DVD extras, where she gives fans the
Yeah, it's the first time that fans, a lot of fans have not seen what BioWare looks like. So on the DVD extras, this is the first time for the fans to actually see how they work, how their character designers work, how their backgrounds work, how the gamers who sit there and practice the game. It's really cool. I mean, it's not as the BioWare guys, you know, it's not as beautiful as you think it would be, but you know, it never is.
No,
so
I'm
but
sure it's just people sitting in their pajamas.
yeah. It's a whole bunch of people in one room, actually, which is interesting. Nobody has their own office. They all. What is really neat about BioWare is they all work together as a team, and so it's really important for them to all be in the same room, and that's what we did with them too. Is we worked together as a team with them on the film, so it was a lot of fun.
Well, Kristen, April, thank you so much for chatting with me, and good luck with the film tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.